Hello, everyone, and welcome back to let's see, my brain, the Jade thing popped up, and I was like, what? Okay, it's numpad 1. Control numpad 1 is my start button for recording. I'm trying to utilize that more, so I'm not starting episodes like in pause screens and stuff. And apparently that's also the config for like disabling Jade. So I don't really need to do that. Actually, speaking of disabling Jade, come to think about it, I should probably just look for that and then just like disable the configs, the buttons. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna turn these off because I don't really need them on. So it looks like numpad 2 wasn't a button, which is great. So I just recorded the last episode maybe 4 hours ago, as of the time of recording, obviously. But like that last episode where I was like, yeah, I couldn't add create because supplementaries was causing issues and it was broken. So yeah, that was literally earlier, just this exact day. And well, let's just say that supplementaries is updated. We have create now. Now, obviously, one of the small problems with having create now and not before. What the large water wheel versus water wheel? What? What's the difference? Wheels draw force from adjacent water currents. Initial size will not improve its kinetic. Really? Wood planks change its appearance. That's cool. Recent changes. A large water wheel. Woo! Draw force from adjacent water currents. Covering additional size will not improve its kinetic output further. Interesting. Only at half the speeds of regular water wheels, but provides substantially higher stress capacity. Ooh, okay. So higher stress but lower speed. Interesting. So yeah, obviously one of the issues that we're gonna have is that world generation is not going to be, the areas that we've generated already are not going to have any like zinc in them, which is fine for the most part. I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. We can always go get more. So I have been kind of sitting here for the last hour, just letting the iron farm run. I went ahead and have been smelting all of our raw iron, at least in batches of 8. So yeah, I've got 2 raw iron left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. I need 1 more raw gold, clearly, to match that up. I am going to want some gold, too. I am going to actually want to start getting some gold as well. I don't know if there's a good way to get gold other than just going through like mystical agriculture. But this is definitely a good way to get like standard iron. So I figured for this episode though we would head back into the Nether, because even though we have found another fortress, we still don't have the crimson iron yet, and that's something that we are going to need. So I went into here and I made my way to a different biome. So if I just follow the warped wart blocks here, I should be able to reach the other biome pretty easily. I have to remember how I marked this down. Gotta go this way. And of course there's plenty of flesh around here as normal. You know, as you do, basically. I guess I could have just like put a little path right here, but I didn't even realize that that's how that worked when I was going backwards. So, hey, and there we go. We are now in Netherrack. So this was lava right here. That's why I've dug out here so that I could get to it. I've put the lava just into my backpack here. But this was as far as I went, basically. Once you go down this path, you're in the the warped forest. And though I have gotten here, I haven't made any way to get down or anything like that. So, it's kind of like right on the edge of the visceral heap here, which is where all of the flesh blocks come from. So I figure that this is a good start. We can kind of deconstruct a little bit of the Nether fortress and just kind of work on building down. I want to look here. Yes, this side. I want right here. So what I figure is that since this is the side that has like the Nether brick fences and stuff, we can just kind of deconstruct this area as we kind of work our way down. And then that way we can eventually get down into that area, hopefully. And one of the things that I figured would be good here is that since this is a pillar, I should be able to mine more or less, you know, round like this. I'm trying to... The fence there was confusing me. I think I need to start here. I want to dig 5 blocks down, right? So. And technically this gets us down here. So, but this gets us down into this warped forest. You know, we can now use this to kind of get around. Go away. Get rid of that poisonous. Get rid of these poisonous mushrooms. Hopefully don't get poisoned in the process. I did get poisoned in the process, but I had hoped I wouldn't. So put that there to kind of lead me back, hopefully. Alright, so now we are in a non-flesh biome. You know, the visceral heap, as they call it. I'm gonna mark over here as the Nether Fortress. That way I can use that as a way to know where to go back to while we're out and about. I have been having a few issues with keeping up enough emeralds. So I figured, you know what, we've got potatoes, popotos as they're called in Final Fantasy XIV. So I figured I would just bake up some popotos and we can utilize those. I do realize that I ran past some gold earlier. It's fine for the most part, though. Mostly what we're looking for is the crimson iron. And crimson iron can basically just spawn in, like, anywhere in the nether, really. As long as it's netherrack, you know? So, really it's just kind of looking around for the most part. There is some soul stone over here. And we are going to need that for mystical agriculture. So, I might start here. Where we can get like some of the soulium and the soul stone. Since we're going to need all of this. I mean, we're not going to need all of this, as in like every last block of this. Though we will need quite a bit. It is also really neat to see that Mystical Agriculture did another update to their stuff. When 1.16 came out and Minecraft did a big update to all of its textures and blocks, a lot of mods also went in and likewise did new textures and, you know, for their blocks and things. And it's neat to see that that isn't the only reason to update their blocks. You know, some of these mods have updated their blocks even still. So, because this is not what they looked like last time I saw them. Now, actually, yeah, I was going to say, last time I looked, it was in 1.19. So this is a recent texture change. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. Like, that would be a really recent texture change that they would have done. And I'm all for that. I like mods continuing to, like, update and, like, establishing their, like, unique personalities, you know? Being like, you know, we've always looked like this, but let's make it so that we stand out a bit more from the other mods by using, you know, by giving our, like, blocks a really unique texture, you know? I think that's really cool. We've got some quartz now, though, so we can start building a storage system. This mod does not have refined storage or anything in it, but it does have a mod called Easy Storage. It was not Easy Storage. Simple Storage Network. I've been using that for a while. You might remember it from SC Colonies if you have watched any episodes of that. If not, I mean, you don't really have to go watch it. It's kind of the same thing as this is now that Mine Colonies has been added along with like Create and stuff. So it's not really all that necessary. They're kind of similar mod packs now. So I cannot currently grab the carnelian ore there because I don't have a pickaxe of appropriate level. But I can grab this crimson iron. And there we go. We now have 5 crimson iron ore, which we can now turn around and make into crimson iron ingots. And that will let us upgrade our tools to diamond level. Again, I'm sure that there is some, like, well, you're supposed to just use diamonds, you know. I just never really liked using the diamonds because they're brittle. And making a portal, getting in here to the crimson iron, and then getting a handful of that isn't too difficult. Now I'm probably going to keep a separate pickaxe that's iron. That way I can mine, you know, stuff until I get plenty of crimson iron, because right now we don't exactly have a lot of crimson iron. We've got whopping 5 crimson iron. This is part of the fortress. Oh hey, how about that? And just go straight back into the fortress. Also, soulstone quartz ore. I love it. Excavated variants is so cool. And it's not a mod that could have existed before, since, you know, ores were always just like, they drop the block. But now that 1.17 changed everything, so that, like, ore now drops as, like, the raw ore and stuff. Whoa, frick. It's actually kind of cool that, like, that we can do that. You know, put in these, like, variants of blocks and things. I think it's a really cool idea. That's why I always try to add excavated variants. I actually had excavated variants in SC colonies. It just didn't work for some reason. Huh. How about that? I could have just gone straight there. That's cool. So this was the gold that I was saying I know I passed up. If nobody else saw it, I had seen it. I didn't realize that I could just, like, dig right here. Right over here. And I was just in, not over here apparently, but somewhere around here. I didn't realize I could just, like, dig over one and I would be in the forest already. That's why I went all the way out to where I was. So, but that's fine. Grabbing some quartz, grabbing some crimson iron. And I'm sure I will do some off-camera mining, you know, actual off-camera mining, to get more crimson iron. That way we can have plenty of it as we go along. I need to repair. I did do some repairs on my gear. Now that we've got the iron farm, so we're getting plenty of iron. Is it over here? Oh, it was just right over there. I see. Come on. Shoot at me. There really should be a cooldown on the shield, though. That seems a little bonkers. I can just shield and be completely invincible. I really feel like there should be some level of a cooldown, but that's the way Minecraft designed it, so that's how it is. It does seem a little bonkers that I can just hold the button and be perfectly fine and never have to worry about, getting hit and have absolutely no cooldown or anything, This is when having a spyglass would help, because then I'd be able to like look around and see if there's stuff around here. I do see some crimson iron right over there. Just in case I need to like come back up. I don't want to completely screw myself here. Which is, again, something I see. I know I harp on like other YouTubers a lot, and I don't mean anything truly negative by it. I'm not sitting here being like, oh, I'm better than other YouTubers. That's not my goal. But I don't know, some of the things that I do, I go, why does it seem like I am one of the only people that does this? Especially on YouTube, But maybe it has something to do with their bigger YouTubers, and so because they're bigger YouTubers, they have to like be more entertaining and stuff like that, and so their focus is on trying to be entertaining and things like that while doing all of this, whereas I'm more or less just doing it to do it. Don't get me wrong, I like entertaining people, and I hope that I am at least slightly entertaining to people. I just am very much aware that I am probably not the most entertaining. I don't do a lot of editing. I am not great at being, punny. In fact, I would say that that's one of my biggest, weak points. Is I look at all of these other YouTubers, and they're always just, able to come up with stuff off the top of their head for, puns and jokes and things like that. I'm watching Nico B playing through Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, he's really going out of his way to, do ridiculous stuff just for the laugh factor, even though it's kind of, so dumb that he does it, It's like, he will intentionally, screw up things, in Tears of the Kingdom, you've got the quest lines. Well, they're not quest lines, but you've got the Koroks where it's like, hey, help me get to my friend and whatnot. And he will sit there and just do a bunch of stupid stuff before solving the thing. But it's very clear that he knows what he's doing. Because he'll just do stuff dropping them off of edges and blasting them off or exploding them or things like that, just for the added comedic effect. And I'm going, I would love to do that. I am not comedically minded though, so I really don't know. I really just don't know if I could do that, do things just for the comedic element instead of, playing the game normally. And maybe that's some of it. Maybe that's some of why I am a small YouTuber, despite being on here for 13 years. Maybe that has nothing to do with it, because there's plenty of different reasons why that could be Um, I'm not complaining that that is the way it is, by the way. Before anybody thinks, I'm not being like, yeah, I've been on here 13 years and nobody cares. I'm not trying to say that. It's just like, it's just, I guess it's kind of probably how Captain Sparkles feels. Like, he got to 10 mil once, and then that's just been it. It really hasn't, his channel hasn't grown. It hasn't shrunk, but it just hasn't grown at all. Once he reached that 10 million, and it's just like, man, work your butt off to be as entertaining as you can be, and then still get nothing out of it. So, but again, not trying to like complain. I'm just saying, like, that's how that's just kind of how it's been. But like, I do try to see, think about like, okay, what could I do that would be better? What could make me more entertaining to people? I look at YouTubers doing some of the crazy stuff they do, and I go, that looks like it would be a fun way to do YouTube. And then, like, I get into a video and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna do that sort of thing. Crack jokes, be ridiculous, do all kinds of wacky, fun things. And I get into an episode and I'm just immediately like, nope. I have no idea how to even start doing that. Which is hilarious to think about, because me and a friend of mine used to be comedians back in the day. I'll admit full on that, like, basically all of the comedy that we ever came up with was from him. And 90% of that was because he was smoking the good stuff, as they call it. I've never done it, actually. I've never smoked anything, like cigarettes or anything else. I just never saw it as anything that made sense to me, because it just, like, regardless of the benefits of weed, marijuana, as they call it, regardless of, like, the benefits, it's like, oh, well, it makes you calmer and it helps you think and stuff. You're still, like, jamming smoke into your lungs, and I already have enough trouble breathing from having 4 cats in the house while being allergic to cats. Like, do I really need to, add something else to just destroy my lungs? I don't think so. I think that's a terrible idea. So I would prefer not to do exactly that. I would prefer to avoid, making my life worse. Making it harder to breathe when it's already difficult enough. So we actually thought, there was actually a time where we thought that I had asthma because I was having so much trouble breathing. But it turns out that it's not asthma itself. It is an allergy to cats. And it's just that because we have so many cats, and because I'm allergic to cats, like, it's not asthma, because my airways don't, completely clog up. I don't need an inhaler or anything. I just every once in a while the pet dander, whatever you want to call it, builds up enough that it becomes hard to breathe for a moment. And so, and basically I just take an allergy pill and I'm okay after that. So it's really, to clarify and ensure that people really do like understand, it is not asthma. You don't need to be like, that sounds like asthma and here's reasons why it's not. I have talked to doctors about this. Trust me. I have gone through the process to try and determine if it was, and it, was not. So, I'm okay. I don't need, medical diagnoses from chat, I guess. Comments. It's not really a chat. Just because I know that, that can be how people react sometimes. It's like, oh, well, hang on. If that's how you're feeling, then, she's like, we're good. Like, I'm good. I don't need, I don't need medical advice or diagnosis or anything like that from the chat. I'm good. I wouldn't mind if somebody could freaking figure out what's wrong with my back here and the freaking pain I'm constantly in. But, I don't expect, and no offense, but I don't expect YouTube comments to be able to figure out something that the doctors have been spending 6, years trying to figure out and have not figured out at all yet. So, I'm not gonna expect YouTube comments to be able to answer why I have chronic pain. That said, in regards to chronic pain and my chronic pain, the doctors have basically decided what it is that I have. It's fibromyalgia. The problem is that you can't say, oh, it's fibromyalgia, and then just call it good. Once you've decided, like, it could be fibromyalgia, you have to do a bunch of tests to rule out every possible other option before something like disability will sit down and be like, okay, yes, it's fibromyalgia, And so, unfortunately, despite the fact that my doctors basically have said, yes, we're 99.9% sure that's what it is, disability and my insurance are both like, okay, but have you attempted looking into? And it's like, yes, we have. And then, of course, the insurance comes back and is like, well, you don't have any reports in the last 4 years that say you've looked into it. And so then it's a big deal of like, okay, well, I guess we'll go out, find freaking, these doctors. The doctor I'm seeing wanted me to do an MRI. And my insurance was like, well, we don't think you need an MRI because you have back pain. And if you're going to get an MRI, then we are going to require you to meet these specific conditions to determine if you actually need them. And I'm like, I've been to physical therapy, I've been to chiropractic, but I don't have any records of those within the last 4 years. And because I have no records of any of that, while I've been on this insurance, aka the insurance themselves, haven't been the ones to do it. They're like, okay, but we aren't the ones that have that record. And it's like, okay, well, can I just send you the medical records that I have? And they're like, no, because those are from doctors that aren't in our network, so we don't approve. I was just like, you fricks are ridiculous. Like, they really are. Just, they're fricks. That's just the way it is. They're fricks. And I hate them so much. Their freaking insurance is so dumb. I don't think that insurance companies should have any say over whether or not, I or a doctor decide what I need, But apparently that's the way the freaking United States insurance works. It's dumb. It's stupid. It is horrendous. All those words. But, unfortunately, I live in the wonderful US of A, where we had a president for years that just straight up didn't even believe in health insurance as a thing that people needed. And so that really screwed up everything. So we had a president who was like, yeah, no, like, look, this is the problem. We need to fix it. And so he did. And then the next president after him came in and was like, nope. And literally just canceled. That should not be allowed, in my opinion. Like, I get that, sometimes presidents lay down laws that they shouldn't. But I don't think it should be allowed that, and it's not even so much that, like, they can. It's not so much that, like, he could cancel it. Like, it wasn't like, he came into office and then spent time, working with Congress and whatnot. Like, he just wrote an executive order that was just like, okay, this is no longer a law now, done. It's just like, that does not, no, that should not be allowed. First off, the idea of executive orders should not be allowed. Like, that should just not be a government policy at all. You're just waiting for martial law to happen. And executive orders, martial law, should just never be a thing. Because there's absolutely no reason why those should ever exist. But also, again, being able to just come in day one and just be like, okay, we're canceling everything that the last president did. It's like, how then exactly do you expect to ever get anything done if every single president can just say nope to the previous president's decisions? So I don't mind talking about politics. I know some YouTubers avoid politics. And it's probably not a bad idea, but I don't know. I've always been okay with it. You'll put those in there. So, I always see YouTubers like sometimes the closest that a YouTuber will get to talking about politics is being like, well, I'm not going to say how I felt about so-and-so's, what's the word? Wow, I don't even know the word. But they'll just be like, I'm not gonna say my opinion about their, like, presidency. But they'll, like, put that, like, tone where it's clearly, like, they're saying it without saying it. You know? It's like, I won't talk about Obama's presidency. I mean, it's whatever. And then you're clearly like, okay, this is a person that did not like Obama. You know? It's like they're saying it without saying it. But it's just, I'm sorry. I will defend any president that is for LGBT rights. I will fight any president that is against LGBT rights. And so when you point to a president that did absolutely tons for LGBT rights, and then point to the very next president that came in and basically destroyed all of those rights, I'm not going to defend that person in any way, shape, or form. I refuse. It doesn't matter if they were the best president that the United States has ever had. They were against LGBT rights, and as far as I'm concerned, LGBT rights are not LGBT rights. They are human rights. And so, like, to me, I'm sorry, but there is absolutely no way I will ever defend any anti-LGBT, like, people. Because if they are against LGBT, they are against human rights in general. Because there shouldn't even need to be a distinction. You know, there shouldn't need to be a distinction of, well, this is gay marriage. Like, it's just marriage. And all marriage should fall under the laws of marriage. If LGBT people cannot marry, then I'm sorry, nobody should be able to marry. Because it is a basic human right. And I will stand by that all of my days. I will 100% stand up for people like me. And I don't care if people dislike my channel. I don't care if people dislike, me, I guess. Again, as far as I'm concerned, if you're against LGBT rights, you are against basic human rights. So, I hope that none of you are, terrible people. I believe that all of you are good people, and that none of you would be against basic human rights, It's just like, back in the day, right? It was like, oh, well, black rights and women's rights. And it's like, no, we've just kind of brought all of that, we just brought all of that under the umbrella of basic human rights at this point. And that's just what we need to do with LGBT is say, look, these are basic human rights. These are the rights of everyone. It does not matter what anybody else says. These are the rights of everybody. They are, that to discriminate is criminal. To make laws against is criminal. And our society as a whole will be much better for it. Like 100%. But people just like to make laws against basic human rights for whatever reason. Because of religions that we can disprove. Because of social standing. You know, what am I going to tell my children? You tell them, oh, look, it's two people getting married. Like, the only reason that it's even a question is because we make it one. Kids literally won't know the difference if we don't make a difference. What do you tell your kids? The answer is, oh, that's just, you know, normal. That's what everybody should be able to do. There's your answer. That's what you tell your kids. You know? But that's always the, like, arguments. Like, well, if gays can marry, then what am I going to tell my children? You tell them that it's right. You tell them that it's normal. And you will never hear another question about it. And nobody will ever care. And then, oh, wow, how about that? All of a sudden, the world is in a better place. I'm just saying. So, like I said, you know, we don't fight for black rights anymore, right? We don't fight for women's rights anymore. We fight for basic human rights to exist for everybody. So it's just like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, but marriage is a basic human right. It doesn't matter who you're getting married to. Oh, okay. My USBs died for a split second, but apparently they didn't. Like, you heard the disconnect noise, but they didn't actually disconnect, which is great. So, I am pleased with that. Oh my gosh! Just want glowstone. I'm using the axe because it has silk touch. And yet again, another reason to add silk touch to your axe. Because then you can... Then you can carry an axe. And you'll have silk touch on the axe. And then you don't have to worry about, like, carrying other stuff for the most part. Yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed my rant. I am very passionate about this. If only I could be passionate about this in front of my family. But unfortunately, when I attempt to be passionate about this sort of stuff in front of my family, I get told that I am horrible, that I am sinful, that I am let's just say that I have been threatened with capital punishment, I guess could be the word, because that's what they believe, is that LGBT people are worthy of that, which I disagree. Clearly, if that wasn't clear, clearly, I highly doubt that anybody thought that I did think that, but, that's what they have said. So, they would never admit to saying that, of course. You know, if you were to ever actually, like, ask them, they would not say that they would not threaten to kill anyone. They would just tell you that people, you know, LGBT people are deserving of. They would never threaten to actually kill anyone themselves. But they absolutely would be willing to tell you that, yes, they do in fact believe that LGBT people deserve, you know, again, like I said, capital punishment, which is completely wrong and horrible, and nobody should ever believe that. But here we are. We live in a world where people believe that sort of thing. And I have poison for a full minute. Good! I love these poisonous mushrooms everywhere. So much fun. Let's see. What did we get in the way of crimson iron now? Almost a full stack of it. It looks like I did put it all in there. So I've got almost a full stack of crimson iron, which is good. I like the sight of that. I'll put the glowstone in here. I'm just trying to debate what should or should not be in, like, each. Thank you for that. I mean, I guess it makes it easier on me to get back. That was hilarious. I'm just sitting there in my backpack, pop, from behind. Insta-dead. By a blaze. I wasn't going to eat anything while I was poisoned because that's pointless. So, let's see. Let me grab my netherrack and nether brick and nether, just nether stuff in general, basically. Then I can just kind of do this a little bit. Oh, that's a lot of netherrack. Okay. So what we do is we take 5 wood, take 4 iron, we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 logs, and then we do a stack upgrade. We make the upgrade base, we make the stack upgrade, I didn't see what it actually used, but I have the assumption that it used my crimson log. And I didn't notice. But I guess it's fine. I do have plenty of it. So I guess it's fine that it did that. I need to freaking turn on the air conditioner. I think I just turned it on. Yes. Whoops. Sorry, didn't mean to kick the mic there. It gets hot randomly. Like, legitimately, it's really random, like, how hot it will get in here. Because I'll just be just, like, sitting here, more or less fine. You know, just doing whatever. And then just all of a sudden, I'm just like, oh. Suddenly, it is, I'm, like, sweating. But I, like, don't notice it until then at all. Like, it just like, I don't notice the heat at all until I'm suddenly like, oh my god, I'm sweating, you know? And I don't know why that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. And then I bet I don't have any redstone torches left, do I? Probably not. Easy enough to make. Redstone torch. I guess I put 2 down? That was weird. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I did that wrong. Did I? No, I did not. Okay. Woo! I always think I did that wrong. And then I usually haven't. Put our gold in here. And put our sticks away. Give me just a moment while I sort my inventory. Okay. My inventory is all nice and sorted out. So, that's great. You can go ahead and let this guy die and then take the iron that he has produced. So, before we end things off, there are a few things I'd like to do. For one, the Book of Skills would be a really good thing to get our hands on. So I'm going to make a couple of books. And then I need a little bit more leather. So then I need 2 of those. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. And I need a gold ingot. And there we go. You just made a Book of Skills. Cool. Alright, so on top of all the skills that we can already get, first off, we can store all of our experience in here, which is awesome. But also, there is stuff like faster ladders, faster swimming, faster digging, faster mining, cutting, attack speed, accelerated furnaces, speed up furnaces nearby. We do have the obsidian shield, so decreases fire and lava damage, which could be handy. Obviously I just dumped all of my experience, so I can't upgrade anything. Let's see, this is melee damage. So let's go ahead and do... Let's just do 5 of that for now. Because that'll help. There we go. Big obsidian shield would be a good idea. So I went ahead, we've got 15 in our obsidian shield. They do get very expensive as you go up, so... also, I don't believe we actually need to continue to hold on to it. No. So, it's literally a one-time craft. You don't have to continue to hold on to it to keep it active. So, which is great, honestly. Let's see. That should be equal to 8, I believe. Actually, that might be 7. I was saying that, like, this should be an even, like, 8. A multiple of 8. However you want to word it. So, that will help. So we've got our Book of Skills. We've still got our skill tree here, which I still can't quite tell if it's actually helping or not. But the Book of Skills definitely should help. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make an entirely new pickaxe for crimson iron. And the reason for that is because it's not going to be as easy to keep repaired as the regular pickaxes. Speaking of repairs, no, the crimson repair kit requires blaze gold and crimson steel. Okay. This requires a diamond and iron ingots for the sturdy. I could upgrade to that now. Why don't we, since I want an iron rod anyway, let's go ahead and upgrade to the higher tier repair kit. So now we can have our sturdy repair kit. And then I can have the iron rod, the 3 crimson ingots, make a pickaxe out of that. And so it's malleable, so it sometimes takes less damage. It's hard, which increases harvest speed or decreases range damage as the item is damaged. Flexible, so it again additionally takes less damage. And it's magnetic, so it pulls in nearby items. So this is now going to be our main pickaxe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our iron pickaxe that we have here. And since it's the one that I'm going to be doing the majority of like standard mining with, I'm more than likely going to want that standard mining to be done with Silk Touch, so that I can just get stuff like words. I'm gonna want it to be Silk Touch so I can get stuff like stone and deep slate and things like that without then having to turn around and smelt. So go ahead and apply some amethyst to that. So now we have the Silk Touch pickaxe, and now we have our regular pickaxe, just like we have a Silk Touch axe. I don't immediately think we need Silk Touch or anything on my shovel. In fact, it might actually be better to not have it on the shovel. Simply due to the fact that, because we might want to have, like, fortune and things like that, so, any chance I can empty this crude repair kit by just, like, repairing everything? Oh my god, you haven't ran all day and you decide now to freaking be stupid. Why? At 0.79. Unfortunately, that is all of my iron equipment. Alright, I'll just craft it with a stick. Because it's less than an ingot at this point, so it's not even a big problem. So, because I'm going to use it less, for now, I'm going to put the crude iron into this repair kit. But because I'm going to use it more, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the iron. And this is why I was trying to, like, move the iron. I'm going to go ahead and put the sturdy repair kit with iron. And that will give me the ability to, first off, have just better repairing for my Silk Touch pick. But also, then I can still carry around some Crimson Iron. The best option would be to carry 2 repair kits. One, that are both sturdy repair kits. That way I can just repair both of them at the same level. But I think I'm okay with the slightly less. It's 35 versus 40, so it's not going to be that major of a difference. So, but also, again, I'm going to basically only really use the Crimson Iron pick when I need the Crimson Iron pick. I'm still mostly going to be using the standard iron pickaxe here for its Silk Touch. So, and since iron is easy to come by, I have no issues just having lots and lots of iron at the moment, basically. So, let's see. Let's see, is there anything else I want to do before I end this episode off? Just because I know that we're at time. So I'm trying to make sure that there's nothing else that I desperately need to do, right away or anything. I don't think so. I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to make the first infusion stone. Let's see. I needed a lot of gold for this. How much did I need? 8 of those plus this, so that's 18 gold ingots. We do have that. It's a lot, but we do have that. Let's get some stone. I have 7 stone. And this is why I wanted the Silk Touch pickaxe. Because I could just, freaking have the stone right now for this and not have to worry. Well, let's see. What else do we need? We need red wool. We're going to need 20. We're going to need 20 stone and 9 red wool. We might need sheep. Come to think of it. First off, I don't think I brought any of the wool that we had over. And second off, I legitimately think that we're going to need to go make a sheep farm in order to have enough, stuff for this. So, let's start there. With an oak fence for now, I guess. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that should be big enough for a sheep farm to start with. And then it's just a matter of getting some sheepies. Wheat would obviously be the easiest. I'm going to need to grab some wheat to do some breeding. But if I grab these leads, it'll make getting them easier. Bringing them over here. Did the sound of my mic just change? I feel like I've had this semi-echo and now it's just solid sounding. It's so weird. Maybe nothing has changed. It's entirely in my mind. But let me know if at a minute 9 or an hour 9, whatever it is. If you notice any sudden changes in my microphone. I will probably also try to remember to double check myself, but chances are I will probably forget. So there's that. I know I saw sheep over here when we were going this way to the lava. I just have to remember where I saw it. Them, rather. Saw them. I definitely saw a sheep. It might just be further over. There's definitely fish. I can see plenty of fish on the map. They show up as little gray icons in the water. There are some gray icons over here. And those might be the sheep. I literally just need 2 sheep of any color. Does not matter. Just 2 sheep. Yes. Black sheep. Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? I never understood that song. Why wouldn't the black sheep have wool? I'm sure there's some, it's probably something, racist or something. That's how a lot of those old, nursery rhymes are, right? A lot of those are oh, hey, this is a song about death. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men, they couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Nowhere in that, by the way, does it say anything about him being an egg. That's just a common, interpretation of what of who Humpty Dumpty was that he was some kind of an egg. Because, he fell down, he broke, and nobody could put him back together again, right? But, isn't that, actually about, depression or some such? It's actually some really dark, story. I know, let's see, Ring Around the Rosie, is about, what was it, the plague? Something like that. Ring around the rosy, pockets full of cozy. Ashes to ashes, we all die. This is just what I've, heard. I can't, I'm not claiming to be an expert on these things. But I have been told that is, how it was. They're a lot of these nursery rhymes that we know today are actually really bad and really dark. So it would not surprise me if the black sheep was, do you have any wool? It's oh yeah, because it's actually hey, you're a black person or something, and so it's trying to actually be terrible and offensive. But, of course, nobody would know that nowadays. So, maybe that's why I've never understood it, because I'm not racist, and, maybe it is. Again, I don't know for sure if it is. But, it would be interesting if that was the case. And it's oh, that's why it's never made sense to me, because racism never has made any sense to me. Why? First off, we all came from, the same ancestors. So, it doesn't matter what their skin color is. Second off, we all started in Africa and then, branched off from that, right? Is a general consensus. So wouldn't that mean that we started with black skin and then we evolved to have white skin after? And if so, then wouldn't that mean that black skin is actually the superior? Just saying. That's what that seems like to me, is that if we all started in Africa, and if dark skin, I know I've been saying, black skin, and it's probably not the right word. I should probably say, dark. But like, if dark skin is what is normal in Africa, or even was, and that's where we came from, then wouldn't that therefore mean that we all started with dark skin and light skin is sort of an evolution, a change? Of course, tell that to any Christian. It reminds Christians that freaking the diagonal fences. Just like remind Christians that like the Bible characters were dark skinned instead of light skinned, and they will immediately have a fit. Like every time I've ever said that, it's like, you do realize that the biblical characters that you like so much, like, they had dark skin, right? And they're like, well, but what? But what? It's like, no, I'm sorry, but like, they had dark skin. That's just fact. That they had dark, the biblical characters you believe in, if they existed, they had dark skin. Oh, I was one coal short. Think I put in 6 coal, but I had 7 coals worth of crimson iron in there. So I know I am kind of like harping on Christianity. I'm sure some of that is just due to my upbringing in that religion that I don't believe in even in the slightest bit anymore. Not when there is mountains of proof to the opposite, and basically no proof that their stories are true. But let's just ignore that, right? But like I said, maybe it's just because I had that upbringing, and I've like I'm so thankful that I escaped that upbringing. Well, not escaped so much, because obviously I'm still stuck in a house that has those beliefs. But I'm so glad that I'd like stopped believing in that crap. It was really bad. Like it actually was like, it was legitimately undermining my health. Let's be honest, I'm so glad that I can just believe in the truth and be A-okay. I did not grab enough gold. How much more gold do I need? Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5. So I need 10. And I won't complain if anybody believes in any of that stuff. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong. I am here to I can tell you my experiences and how much healthier my life has been and happier my life has been since I got out of that garbage. But I won't, sit here and be like, if you believe that stuff, then you're good, like that. No, I would hope that even if you believe in that stuff, that as I'm sitting here talking about like my experiences, you're going, holy crap, it's really unfortunate that my people have done that to, you know, unlike my parents, who, when somebody mentions, you know, how Christians have acted in the past, they get downright angry, being all accused, you know, feeling all accused. And I'm like, well, maybe if you're feeling accused, there might be a reason for that. Just a thought. If you're feeling accused, maybe there's a reason you're feeling accused. Ever consider that thought pattern? But they would never admit that they're wrong. So, one of the hardest things to do, if not the single hardest thing to do for a lot of people, is admitting that they're wrong. I know that I struggle with that. Like 100%. I have very much struggled with that problem many times. So, it is what it is. Yay! Our first mystical agriculture seeds. So let's see. I'm going to grab 4 wheat seeds. And I'm just going to grab... Actually, I bet I can just grab like 8 wheat seeds. And then just go around in a circle like so. And then there, and then there, and then there, and then there, and then there. I'm being obnoxious on purpose. Let's go ahead and make an infusion crystal. I swear I've drank several things since the last episode, where I was very thirsty and needed a drink and just never bothered to go get one. I swear that I have in fact, you know, done just that. I've gotten drinks since then. Whoops. That's 2. So, you know what? I didn't mean to grab 4 stacks, but that works. I'll just do that. That just makes things easier on me. And actually, I'm going to downgrade this tertium by 1. That way I can put prudentium in there. I can put tertium in here. And then... Oh, never mind. I thought I needed to eat, and then I did not. But then I can get yield bucket of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yield hoe. 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I'm gonna need some dirt there, but that's not surprising. But this will be my plot for mystical agriculture. And probably one of the first things I'm gonna want to do is get my hands on the necessary materials to start doing what's it called? Create like automation. So I'm trying to think of the best way to lay this out so that I won't have any issues with like create. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, cool. That was what I want. And then I put that there. Cool. I'm gonna go back to the house, actually, because I can make it grow better. Interestingly enough, putting down tertium actually won't make it grow better. It is a tier 1 seed, so therefore it needs a tier 1 essence. So, it's kind of interesting how that works. So I'll put that there, and I'll do that. And there, now we have, because I think it gives you a like 10% chance if it's on just like whatever, like this, like these are all 10% secondary chance. But their inferium output is 200%. The dirt seed here has a 20% secondary chance, and it would go down to 10% if I put it on something like the tertium farmland. So it's actually better to put the proper level underneath, at least if you're wanting the seeds. If you don't need the seeds, which, I mean, you can always like dump the seeds into the thing. Words? What are the words? The seed reprocessor. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. You can always dump the seeds into the seed reprocessor, right? So there really isn't a reason not to want extra seeds. I mean, yeah, it could be annoying if you just have a lot of seeds that you have to regularly go through, but still. So I'm probably going to build some kind of create system underneath this. And once I have, we can create an automated system for planting, basically. Where we can create an automated system for gathering the inferium. And then, I mean, honestly, if I just, like, surround this little circle here, which, of course, it does mean moving these dirt seeds, but it's fine. But if I just, like, do a circle here, we'll get plenty of inferium. If I made, like, a second circle, we would get much more, of course, but a full circle is always a good start, either way, so. I'm wondering if I might have the resources to do that, actually. Because I still had some tertium already left. Yeah, I can put down some tertium. I would just need 8, 16, 24 inferium. 32 if I move the one dirt seed. I'm going to take an extra inferium with me just in case I need it, because it doesn't always give it back. So let me just make a full circle of inferium seeds with that. I think I grabbed too many of these, come to think of it. Too many tertiums. I did. Cool. Break that. And then do that. Yep. Doesn't always give it back, unfortunately. Inferium seeds and dirt seeds. Cool. So we have a full circle of inferium seeds that are all growing at 200%, which is great. Again, we can automate that at some point. And then after that, we can work on automating further stuff. What the frick happened here? How did you even grow in that direction? That's not how pumpkins work. What? There was a freaking stem there. How did it grow in that direction? Like, it shouldn't have been able to grow in that direction with the stem there. Unless there just wasn't one there for some reason. That's so weird. I'm going to have to go get another pumpkin seed. I did have one extra. Maybe I just didn't plant one there. I just didn't notice. There we go. One extra pumpkin seed. But I don't actually have a clue. And now there will be a stem here. So there should be no reason for you to freaking grow there. Freaking stupid plants. Sometimes. Bone meal. Should have grabbed that prior, but it's fine. Because I'm going to grow this to the max just to ensure that I can see there are stems in every slot. So now, I have video proof. So if it does that again, like, I have video proof. And I can show, like, it's broken. So, just saying. Alright, well, I think I'm going to end things off here. We ended up going another half hour over time due to me wanting to do the things that I did there. But I don't mind too badly. So, I mean, it's mostly whether you mind, I suppose, isn't it? So, let me know if you hate when I go over or something. So, with that said, I do hope you have enjoyed fire seeds. That's with the agglomeratio, which is lava buckets, clay, and dirt. I'm just trying to see if there's something I can do to get rid of this. The lava that's in my backpack. So, and gravel. There we go. Well, that's unfortunate. I was kind of hoping I could, like, just have them both open, but, oh well. This should be shapeless. I guess it's not. Why that not work? Gravel, dirt. Oh, clay ball. Whoop-de-frickin' do. I did an annoyingly extra step. So, congrats me. Cool. I'll put that away. These are just tier 1 as well. Sorry, I know that I wanted to end, and here I am still going. This will help, and I can, like, outro while I'm doing this, so it's not too big of a deal. So, I was like, why do I feel like I'm doing something wrong? because I need the seed base first. Alright, so I do hope you've all enjoyed. If you have, I really hate everything. If you have, feel free to subscribe. There is a playlist so you can check other episodes that you've missed. Why is it that whenever I drink, I spill all over myself? Every time. I swear. It's so annoying. I really need that drink. So, tis playlist down below. Or not playlist. Links down below to Discord, Patreon. It does help the channel out. So, feel free to check those out. Then you can come hang out with us, chat, and all that. And with that, I'll see you all next time. See you later. Whoops, there we go.